Hi everyone! In this video we'll be discussing how to create your own custom parts. One of the great things about Clear Estimates is the flexibility when it comes to creating your own custom parts. And one of the best features is the ability to create your own custom parts for anything that we don't offer. There's two different ways to do this. In this video we'll be discussing the permanent addition of a part by creating a custom part. Now keep in mind you can always create a kind of one-off custom part, just a quick item for an estimate, by searching here and then adding a custom part right from your projects page. In this video though, we're going to take it a step further and we're going to talk about parts that are permanently added to your database. So this is fantastic if you use an item a lot and you just want to add it permanently so you can use it in the future. So let's get started here. We're going to go up here to parts up in the top right of our screen. What this does is take us over to our parts database. So this is where any item that we provide you with, as well as any item that you'll create, will exist. So it's important to note that any changes we make up here in parts are going to be permanent. So if we delete a part, it's going to be gone from our account. And if we add a part, it's going to be available for future use. So everything here is broken out by category. You'll see we have everything from project preparation all the way down to project finalization, and then some handyman categories below that. This is how the items are ranked and organized in the database. So when we click in a category, for example, let's go with wall coverings here, you'll see all of the items related to wall coverings. Now, one thing to note here is preliminary text, formal text, and subcontractor text. This is basically just some text for you to display right below your category name in your estimate. So if I wanted to add in some example text right below the category name in my report, I would add that in here. And then anytime an item from 28 wall coverings shows up in our proposal, it will have some text right here. This is typically only used if you have a permanent sentence or two that you want to install just below 28 wall coverings category name. So that's an option for you if you wanted to add some text in there. But let's get into actually adding parts to the estimate. I'm sorry, to the database here. So we're going to scroll down, and down here at the bottom, we're going to click Add Part. And a little window here is going to pop up, allowing us to fill out everything about a part. So this is where we define the part, how it's going to be ranked, how it's going to price out, and what's it going to be called. So in this case, we'll call it Install Drywall. And I'm going to make sure I have my correct category selected, 28 wall coverings. And if I wanted to select a different category, we'll just come back up here and we'll make sure our description is correct, and then we'll get into the cost formula here. So the cost formula is how the part is going to be priced out. So you've got 6 different unit types or options to price this part out: pieces, square feet, linear feet, cubic yards, dollars, and hours. So pieces and square feet and linear feet are going to be our most commonly used price measurements. Pieces is kind of your catch-all, so to speak. So anything could be priced out in pieces if you'd like it to. Square feet, typically used for things like tile or anything wall covering related, maybe wall framing. Linear feet, this would be great for crown molding, maybe baseboards, anything done on the perimeter of a room. And then cubic yards, typically used for excavation, any kind of earth movement. And then dollars and hours are going to be your really general costing here. So if I just wanted to price something out by dollars or price it out by hours. In this case, for the install of drywall, we're going to use square foot because I want to price it out by the square foot. And we're going to start entering some costing information. So these 4 boxes here, unit cost, hourly labor rate, material multiplier, and hourly multiplier, are how the part is priced out. So let's start with the unit cost here. So this is asking me my price per square foot to install the drywall related to the material. So I'm going to say this is going to be $1 a square foot. So I'm just going to type in the number 1 here. So that means for every square foot we add of this part to our estimate, it's going to add $1. Next, we're going to add our labor rate for the installation. So I'm going to come down here to my labor rates, And for this guy, we're just going to scroll down and we're going to select Alex. And then we're going to adjust the hourly multiplier. So this is the amount of time it takes to install 1 square foot of drywall. Now 1 square foot, not that much, so I'm going to give it a very low hourly rate. So we're going to go with 0.02. And then our material multiplier. So this typically will stay at 1. However, if you wanted to change it to, let's say, 1.1, that would basically tell the system that you're going to add on an additional 10% for every square foot that we add. So if you wanted to build in, some kind of tax or additional cost to this, maybe a surplus charge, that's where this multiplier would take place. In this case, we're just going to leave it as 1. We're going to keep it simple. And then the most important part here is to tell Clear Estimates how we're going to be multiplying this. So 99% of the time, this is just going to be the number 1 because we need to tell the system what the cost is for 1 square foot. Once we do so, we're going to see our material and labor get calculated here for 1 square foot. And then we're pretty much done with the costing aspect. So let's review what we have here. So we have $1 in material for 1 square foot, which makes sense because we have $1 right here. And then we have 55 cents in labor per square foot. And that's because we're multiplying 0.02 of an hour by $35 an hour, getting us to about 55 cents a square foot. So everything looks good here. Next, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here, and we're going to adjust our report text. So this is very important because this is how it's going to display on our report to our customer. So if we type in text here for our preliminary report, such as install drywall, we can absolutely do that. But we've got some helpful tips over here, PQUD, to help you write the report text. So let's come down here to our formal, and if I just click D, it's going to copy and paste my description that I wrote up top. So you can see it just populated install drywall. If I click P, it's going to say provide and install. Q is going to enter the quantity, and then U is going to enter the unit type. So in this case, I'm going to say P, provide and install. I'm going to enter the quantity, and then I'm going to do the unit type. And then I'm going to click D. And then I'm just going to remove install. So now, with the help of these buttons, it's now going to say provide and install, enter the quantity, so whatever we have for this particular job, square feet of drywall. So in an example, it would say provide and install 100 square feet of drywall. So these are really cool buttons over here. They're going to help you add text to your estimates. So we'll just go ahead and install drywall here for our subcontractor text. Now the last part is we need to rank the part. So we need to tell Clear Estimates where in the category 28 wall coverings do we want this part to rank. So this is important not only for finding the part, but this will also help us rank it on our proposal when it's in a list of items under 28 wall coverings for the particular estimate. So in this case, I'm going to insert it at the top. So I'm going to go with insert ahead of selected. I'm going to select this item. I'm going to come down here and click add part. You'll see confirmation up here. So part was updated. And if we scroll back up, we'll see our part right here. Install drywall. And then here's all the information about it. And if we ever wanted to make a change to it, we can click our little blue edit button. Now here's a really cool feature. We have these little stars on the left side here, and what this allows you to do is favorite the item. So typically when you create your own custom parts, you're going to want to be able to find them very easily. So I'm going to go ahead and star this item, which means it's going to display at the very top. So it's going to allow me to really easily find that item. So we'll go ahead and star it here. And I'm going to head back over to our project now, and let's add this part to our estimate. So I'm heading back to our project. I'm going to come over here and search for the part. So I'm going to type in install drywall. And our third result down is the item that we just created. So when I click it, it's going to enter what we call the add part preview, where we can adjust anything about the part. So here I'm going to type in 100 square feet. We're going to get our material and labor costs, and we're just going to add the part to our estimate. And then when we exit out of here, you'll see our item added to our estimate. And that item can be added to any estimate in the future as it is saved in our database. And again, that database of parts can be found right up here under parts. And then just search for your category, and then you can create a custom part right here. Thanks for watching.